Before we get to the video, check out my Patreon linked in the description of this video, where for $5 a month you get exclusive content such as sneak peeks at projects like upcoming videos, dioramas, stop motions, photography. You'll get a shout out in videos like this one. I also take video requests. You can see behind the scenes of my stop motions in toy photography, as well as exclusive stop motions in photography. Again, you get all these perks on my Patreon for $5 a month. Link to join in the description of this video. Now let's get to it. Alrighty, you guys, so as you can tell by the title of this video, talking some more information that Hasbro has been giving in recent interviews, this time from the TF Wiki community interview during MCM London with Hasbro that happened a few weeks ago. I'm going to be going through some bullet points of information here in this article, and I'll give you all my thoughts and everything, as always. So this first bullet point here says, the Throttlebots are clearly the next frontier after completing the mini-bots. Other interviews made it clear that alternate heads for many of them are baked into the SS-86 Bumblebee tooling. Yeah, I've been covering on the channel the last few weeks to a month now that Hasbro has been saying in interviews in like New York Comic Con and MCM London that yes, the Throttlebots are coming based off of the SS-86 Bumblebee mold, and their head sculpts baked into the tooling, which is what was said here. So yeah, I mean, they just keep reconfirming it now. So I would say maybe next year or in 2027 we start seeing Throttlebot updates based off of that 86 Bumblebee mold, because they're starting to tease it now the last month or so. So it seems like to me that Hasbro is gearing up to, for listings of these to maybe leak, or them to reveal it maybe like 6 months to a year from now. You never know. But Hasbro is obviously going out there and confirming that they're coming at some point here soon. So I would say a year or two from now is a safe bet to start seeing some Throttlebots get made from that 86B mold. Second bullet point here is, yes, Armada Optimus needs a new pair of pants. So yeah, they're reconfirming Armada Jetfire, who already has a listing for the last, I don't know, like 6 months or something, that he's going to be getting the Commander class treatment for 2026, which I am hyped for. Bring it on, Hasbro. I really want to see more Armada updates because those original figures are such bricks. And even back then they were bricks, because there was a lot of articulation in previous figures, and then all of a sudden with Armada it was just solely G1 figures with gimmicks to them, So hopefully we start seeing more Armada characters outside of Jetfire and Sideways and the Red Alert repaint that's coming out next year, which we probably will either next year or in 2027, because it seems like they're updating characters every year, which I'm happy about. And this third bullet point here says, let's just say you don't have to worry about Alpha Bravo. And this is in quotes here, so it seems like Evan probably said this because he was one of the ones being interviewed. So it's interesting that he's bringing up Alpha Bravo, because, he just got Superion Complete. And Alpha Bravo is an original character from the Prime Wars trilogy that was a fan favorite 10 or so years ago, and people have been wondering the last year or so, would we get an Alpha Bravo? Would we get some of these Combiner Wars original characters that wasn't in any other media or fiction since or before? And it seems like Evan answered this question that first off, probably they're going to do Alpha Bravo. I mean, it could come first where they do like, what was that one Scout class character that came with Menasor and Combiner Wars? It could be him, or there's a bunch of different Combiner Wars original characters that they could do before Alpha Bravo, like Rook or whatever. But it seems like he's teasing Alpha Bravo to be the first one potentially. I don't know, I'm just speculating here, but that's the vibe I'm getting. And this made a lot of people happy, man. And it makes me happy because Alpha Bravo, he seems like a cool character. The robot design was nice that they drummed up for in Combiner Wars. So, yeah, I'm really excited for this. I could see him being a deluxe or maybe even a Voyager class. I don't know, but this is going to be an interesting G1ified, if you will, addition to this new Age of the Prime Superion that came out. And this last bullet point here is, I repeatedly heard variations on we think we're going to keep it one combiner a year. This year was too many, which also strongly suggests a lower bound as well. So this is interesting to hear because, this was the first time this year and next year that they're kind of messing with the higher price point and bigger size classes that I think we've ever seen with Transformers. I don't remember seeing this with other Titan class or Command class figures or, with the previous era of Ultra class and Supreme class. It seems like Hasbro is really testing some interesting waters here, to say the least, this next year or two. Because, they're doing 2 combiners for Age of the Primes next year, but because of Age of the Primes not having a Titan class, they're giving the Titan class to Studio Series, which is obviously Age of the Primes, Age of Extinction Grimlock. And I don't know if Studio Series is having a Commander class next year. They may not, considering Age of the Primes has 2 next year, but we honestly don't know for sure, I at least from what I remember. But it seems like they're going back to the old ways after testing out what they're doing next year with 2 commanders for Age of the Primes. That's the vibe I'm getting here, but I don't know, maybe he could just be saying in 2028 they're going to go back to the regular schedule of things, and then maybe in 2029 they're going to switch things up again. Or maybe, maybe I mean 2027 they go back to the regular schedule, and then in 2028 they switch things up again, where maybe it's like 2 commanders for Studio Series, and then it's a Titan for Age of the Primes, or hell, maybe 2 Titans. You never know what they could do a couple years from now. They really seem to be testing a lot of collector-oriented fronts right now with Transformers figures at Hasbro and Takara, so it really is fair game for any of this stuff. But what I gather from what Evan is saying here in these quotes, I think what they're going to do in 2027 is, after 2026, you have, for that year, next year, it's the 2 commanders and 1 Titan. And then probably in 2027, it's going to go back to the regular schedule of 1 commander for the mainline generations, then 1 commander for Studio Series, and then 1 Titan class that's a brand new mold for either Studio Series or regular generations. And then, it's going to be the typical reissues or repaints with a new head sculpt of whatever Titan or Commander class they do for 2027. So I think that's what he means here, but I don't know. We honestly don't know for sure. But a lot of interesting info here, guys. I'm really excited to see a new modern era 2020s take on an Alpha Bravo that has more modern articulation, engineering, details. Not to say the old one isn't bad. I mean, with how they do some redos of characters nowadays, sometimes the older figure is better than the new figure. So we honestly don't know how good the new Alpha Bravo is going to turn out, but the prospects of this is pretty exciting. Obviously, I'm excited for a new Armada Jetfire Commander class next year. The Throttlebots we've been waiting for so long. And again, we're really going to have to wait and see on what the schedule is going to be in the next couple of years for Commander class and Titan class, because it really can change, and they've been talking about changing it up. So we're going to have to wait and see. But a lot of exciting stuff I talked about here, guys. Let me know down below which piece of information I covered here perked you up the most. And yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.